right, guys, welcome back to the Shift Points podcast, where stupid people agree with each other when we say something stupid. I'm Jake Freeman.
I'm Logan Chandler.
I'm Jackson. Hi.
That's Jackson Boone. Anyway, we are back, guys. This is the second episode for this year, 2024, which is just weird that it's already like almost April.
Season 2, baby.
I don't know how it's already almost April.
Time's flying, man.
It really is. I guess it's flying when you're having fun, and it's always fun being here with you guys.
Amen to that.
So, what you been into?
I'm doing a little bit of research for this. Got some stuff to talk about.
Good.
Know?
I like that. See,
Other
I
than
like
that, same old, brother.
I did my research on TikTok.
I mean, then isn't that where
so far has
I thought
found
that was just
two-
where everyone did their
We
research.
got two
now.
topics, though.
Yeah, no,
out
we're
of this,
good.
Yeah, no,
rocking.
that's what I'm saying. I just thought TikTok was where everyone got their news nowadays. To be
Anymore,
honest.
yeah.
I don't like TikTok, man. They don't like me for some reason. They don't get any views on there, many. I don't know. Anyway,
algorithm's not in your favor.
No, it's not. Apparently, it's all those like negative Chinese comments, I guess. Just kidding. Anyway, all right, guys. So this week we want to dive into it. We really enjoyed doing it like last week with the kind of talking about different news things that were kind of in the automotive world going on. Who wants to kick it off this week?
Jackson, I started last week.
Go ahead.
I don't. Okay.
Caught him off
You
guard.
got something.
That's one of those TikTok things, and I don't. It's almost a year old. The article is that I found this one, but it's kind of just a shout out to the Australians, the crazy
I love my
nut
Australians.
jobs
man. I love Australians. They're the best.
entitled this one "The Crazy Nut Job Australians." A tuning company in Australia took a 1.6 liter Yaris GR with stock internals and made 740 horsepower.
That's a lot.
740.9.
A 1.6 liter inline 3, 740.9 horsepower.
Inline 3. You said 1.6 liter?
1.6 liter
700 horsepower.
with on factory internals. Now, they did put a 58 millimeter Garrett turbo on it.
Right. That makes sense. I'm surprised it was that small. I would have expected bigger, to be honest. But I mean, it's a really small engine. You
Also,
don't need it.
it revs almost to 9K. This
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
is...
Does it say how many pounds of boost they put into it?
Nope.
No.
I imagine a lot.
I mean, I don't know. Like I said, something that small, you might not even had to stuff that much boost into it to make it. I don't know. 15 pounds, maybe 20 pounds. Might have been more than that. I don't know. That's pretty wild, though. You think about me and Dad talk about it a lot with the not to like immediately go away from like 1.6 liters, but like with the gassers that with the Southeast gassers that when Randy comes here and we talk about that, you think about the quality of parts over, I don't know, let's call it the last decade. I mean, it's longer than that, but over the last decade, the quality of parts has went insanely good. You can buy stock internal stuff like you were talking about there and make mega power out of it. It's just crazy. I don't know if it's just a statement to the manufacturing processes, quality control, or better materials in general, or like what that is, but it is pretty wild what you can do.
I think it's a mix of materials and the fact that so much has been done already that we like can pull from experience wise.
That's true. Yeah,
That helps
that
out
definitely
with a
makes
lot of
sense.
that.
Well, I mean, you think about it. I mean, a Formula One engine's 1.5 liters, and
Yeah.
I mean it's turbocharged, but that one was as well. But they're making over 1,000 horsepower with those little engines
Yeah,
too.
but
you
that
know?
engine costs as much as 25 of those.
yeah, it's not absolutely. I'm just saying that the engineering side of it exists.
These are just some crazy dudes that were like,
let's try.
I can
it.
fit that car in my pocket. Let's.
I mean, just basically,
Yeah,
well,
it's
it's what
super
the guys
fast.
here in the U.S. do with 5.3s, right?
Yeah.
With LSs,
Yeah, I
you're
mean,
just like,
basically, yeah.
what can I do with this? I'm gonna just stuff turbos on it and
I would
see what
love
happens.
to know what the actual speed numbers on that are, because all that said, like, correct me if I'm wrong, was that they have done like 30 different dyno runs on it to make sure that it runs fine, but they didn't put up any speed numbers or anything.
Not that I could find.
It's 741
Yeah.
horse, and it weighs what, 2,700 pounds?
It was something like that. It's very, very light.
That thing is a rocket.
Yeah, I mean, Dad's car weighed 2,700 pounds as well. So I mean, I know, but I'm just saying, like, that's not.
We should build an inline 3-cylinder and put it in that car.
No. Dad just turned off, man. He just turned it off. He doesn't want to listen. He doesn't want to listen to us anymore. He's
Jackson's
like,
a
I was reluctant to
moron."
listen to this in the first place, and now I'm definitely against it. No, that is interesting. I love people's ingenuity, especially in Australia.
Crazy Australia.
Because you never know what they're going to do.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so anyway, that is very interesting.
With their weird driver's licenses.
What do you
mean?
What do you
You
what does
have
that
to have
mean?
like, one of them might watch this and correct me, but you have to have a special endorsement to drive a turbocharged car.
Oh, really?
A special endorsement to drive a manual car.
What?
Yeah. Like you have
I would have assumed that they like most of their stuff was manual transmissions, like Europe. I don't know. I didn't know that. That's
It's another
weird.
one of those TikTok things. Like you have to have a special endorsement for everything.
All right, my
you-
Australian
yeah.
friends, we had a lot at one point. I need you to come in here and tell me if this is true, because that's wild. Because like here in the U.S., you get a driver's license. You need like a motorcycle endorsement if you drive a motorcycle,
Yeah.
and then you need like a CDL if you want to drive like a big truck.
Yeah. Legally.
Legally, at least,
Well,
yeah.
you know what I mean.
That's about it.
You want
Things
to drive
happen,
like a
man.
fleet or something. Yeah. What's the weight on a CDL now? I should know this. I work in the trucking industry.
27?
I don't know.
Maybe it's 20.
I don't want to give a number because I don't remember.
I don't know.
I work in the trucking industry. I should know that. Yeah. So okay. All right. Cool. All right. The Australians are in. Logan.
You want me to go?
Yeah, you go.
Okay, let me get this pulled back
It's
up here.
another.
It's another one that came
TikToker.
to me from Jackson. He was talking to me about this, and I ended up finding the article on it. So there's a Subaru in WRC. I wish I could find the clip so you could hear this.
Sounds super
Those
cool.
guys are
It
insane.
is. It's a what 20? Oh no, it's an 04 Subaru STI.
Okay.
And if you played the video, sound off, it just looks like some dude ripping through a dirt track, absolutely bossing an STI around a corner, right?
Gotcha.
The second you turn the sound on, it makes absolutely zero sense because this guy found a way to shoehorn a what was it? Let me.
Is that 3.9 liter?
It is
I
a
think? 3.8, something like that?
4.3
Oh, 4.3.
V8
Okay.
from a Ferrari, California, into Subaru.
Okay.
And this thing is an absolute monster. Here, I will show you.
Just put this. Oh wow.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Once he got the OG Boxer out of it, he found out that he just barely had enough room to fit that engine in, and the radiator wouldn't go in.
Therefore, it needs to be in there.
So he
if it'll
put
fit, it needs to go.
put the radiator in the back like a drift car setup,
Okay. Yeah.
and he has been absolutely ripping up times.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
It's at
Because
the
I imagine
bottom
that
of
car
this.
weighs very little.
Oh, God.
There's some
Those World
restriction
Rally
they
Cross
have
guys are insane.
for power under, I think it was 5 liters or something, that under 5 liters, if it's a V8, there's no power restriction.
Oh, okay.
So he was like, Ferraris are fast.
So he's like, he found the loophole.
Yeah,
And suddenly they wrote a rule.
Okay, I got it. It is. Oh wait, it just went away. No. Okay, yeah. It pushes 454 to all four.
Wow.
So I mean, he's
So it's
whipping
an
that
all-wheel
thing
drive
around.
setup. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I mean, that
Um,
makes sense.
I'm trying to see if there's anything else numbers wise down here. I just want to talk about that thing because that's insane.
Just imagine the set of kahunas you got to have to crawl in that thing and then rip it down a forest road.
No.
Because like I don't know if I could do it. Like
I could
Jackson,
do it.
Jackson, no, I mean I could do it. Jackson knows me. Like I will pretty much drive anything. Like it does not matter. I will give it a shot. You know.
No.
But like, and I would do that, but I would probably do it at like 50% throttle. Because it's a gravel / dirt road and there's trees on each side of it. It's
Dude, rally drivers are a different
They're
breed.
wired
We've talked about
differently,
it
man.
before, yeah.
You know,
There's a reason.
before Jake got married and had a kid, he would have not went 50% throttle. He'd have went, hey, you guys want to ride with me while I try this? And we all would have went, yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Now it's different. He's like 50% throttle, 5-point harness.
Helmet.
Yeah.
That was just
Flame
in case
suit.
Emily listened, you know, just in case. I'd go 100% throttle. I mean, come on. If someone offered that up and was like, here, crawl in this thing and do it, I'm going to try it because I'm probably only going to get one shot at this.
Am I going to be on that track or am I going to go down that random dirt road?
Yeah,
I'm going to be in the
yeah.
woods.
Yeah.
I'm off the track,
Those
in the
World
woods.
Rallycross videos are just the best. Just watching those guys and like the level of concentration and focus that it takes to do that. I don't know how you do it. And if you are actually listening to those driver notes, you're a machine just to be able to interpret them.
Oh yeah, that makes zero
Because
sense to me.
I've listened to them and I'm like, I know that there's like this is basically an art. Like these guys have studied and trained to do this, but I'm like
left
anything.
3 encroaching 400, right 5, hard sharp 2. So you're like,
sure,
Numbers, yeah.
yeah, and then like imagine the mindset of the dude who's like, I'm gonna ride in this with you, and while you're blistering down this dirt road, I'm gonna look at a notebook and just read this. So I'm gonna read a novel while you drive very quickly down a dirt road.
And I'm not gonna look up, but for like,
and he's not gonna
twice.
throw up because I would throw up if I was going that fast and then just like reading notes and trying to keep up with it.
have you seen the crashes from inside the car?
Oh, yeah.
The guy's like, he holds the notebook. He's like, I worked really hard on this.
yeah, and like they get just, I mean, and of course you would, but like the co-drivers get just as fired up, like when they crash or something. I mean, it's equal in their minds, and it's equal. It's an equal win, right? If they win, if the driver wins, the co-driver has won as well.
Yeah,
I mean, it's its own deal, but it's like, I don't know. I couldn't even
pure insanity.
I couldn't think about doing that. Like I couldn't even start to do that.
No, not even close.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. I wanted to talk about this because I know Jackson's love of a certain a small Japanese
it's K-truck.
truck. It's K-truck. Wow, he got it really quick. So
Logan's grandpa has a mini truck sitting there.
Yep.
Oh, really?
It's just sitting there. Yeah.
Oh,
he uses it
yeah.
to he used to use it to bring feed around the farm.
Okay, I need to, before I talk about this story, I need to understand the K-truck thing.
Okay.
Because I see them all the time.
Yep.
And people seem to really like them.
Yeah.
What's the advantage of a K-truck? And this is a genuine question. I'm not like
There's
trying to mess.
It's
There's no like.
It's really tiny.
It's cool.
And it's really different. There's some people, and I feel like this is another TikTok thing, I guess. That's the theme of today's episode. Somebody said that they're like really efficient and like not nearly as bad for the environment, but I don't know how true that is.
As far as like emissions,
I guess.
Okay.
I saw someone took a little John Deere diesel tractor motor and put it in one. And it was like there's a little spoolie. There's like, and it's just like rolling coal in here, banging gear. That was super cool.
Yeah,
because there's not a lot of room. The engine bay's like this.
Even here, you see them all the time. So what is, to me, like, what's the benefit of this over just like a truck? Just like a regular old truck.
They're cool. Somebody send me one for free, please.
You want to see the first ever like Shift Points vehicle review? Jackson will do that thing top to bottom.
I'm keeping it though.
I have seen one guy online, YouTube channel that I can't remember the name of right now. He imports the K trucks, and I love that he brings them in. Hates what he does to them because then he throws like what you'd expect Brodozer wheels to look like. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Except they're for a golf cart because it's a K truck.
So not really spaces them out. Does
spaces them out. Does the rubber band
big
wheels,
offsets, a stretch wheel. Yeah.
I've seen some people that like jack them up and put like 35s on them, like knobbies. Like that's. Yeah. Seems like okay. Anyway.
At that point, it's just a toy.
I thought there was a reason because like
I think it's purely just because people are like, oh, truck,
little truck.
Yeah. I think they're cool.
I don't know if
it's
we even drive one? I've never even seen like with the cab. Is it just a cab over sort
basically?
Setup?
Okay. I mean, it's kind of tight, but
okay.
It is very tight. I drove Papa's.
Some of them have little hydraulic dump beds.
Yeah.
That would be super cool.
Places, yeah.
I mean, given the. You know,
well, you
could probably haul 3 buckets of gravel.
Drive? Are they like 4-wheel drive?
All-wheel drive.
Or, I mean,
a lot of them.
You know what I mean? All-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, whatever. Okay. That makes sense. I'm sure they go well.
They make about 38 horsepower.
I saw one, the guys at, the guys on Donut bought one.
Okay.
And it looks like the Chinese version of an F-150. If you pulled like the plug out of one, just let all the air out. And it made 24 horsepower. And it had the little dump bed like you were talking about. But they had to unbox it and put it together.
Huh. Interesting. Are they cheap? Like, can you get them?
$3,000.
No.
Some of them.
$3,000 to buy. All the money comes in on the import cost.
Yeah.
Huh.
I think total that they paid for was like $9,000. Yeah.
Total about $9,000. Okay, that makes sense. Because I've seen them like on Facebook for like 7,000.
Yeah.
So I figured that was okay. That makes sense. Okay. All right. Sorry. Not to like. I really needed to understand about the K-Truck freight craze.
Look at that picture in your hand. How can you not understand?
I mean, I'm not a mini truck guy.
It's awesome.
And so like this stuff. I mean,
you could put that truck in the bed of your truck.
no, it's not that small.
They're pretty small.
I mean, they're small, but I don't know if you can fit in the bed of my truck. But anyway, all right. So let's talk about this a little bit. Jackson, I don't want you to like move. I know you're probably not going anywhere, but just in case, if you wanted to go to Texas, maybe don't go if you want to buy a K-Truck, because they are refusing to register K-Trucks, and the owners are fighting back.
That's okay. What that just told me is the market's saturated with unregistered K-Trucks.
So you need to go. So, but that's what I'm trying to understand. I was reading this article, and I'm like, why does Texas care? Like, why would they? Do they just think they're unsafe because they're so small? Like, why would it? Is it because everything's bigger in Texas?
I was about to say that.
They're like, this is a small truck, and it goes against everything we believe in. Everything should be bigger here.
It's a small truck from across the water. It's the exact opposite.
Like, this is against everything we stand for. Okay.
We've been talking about going to the stockyards for a while.
Yeah.
Go down there and get you a K-Truck.
K-Truck. Yeah, we'll put it in our carry-on to bring it back.
We could.
I just saw this and I was like, I thought of Jackson instantly.
You could have the cab in yours. Jake could
have
have the bed in his. I could have the axles and stuff in mine. We'd be just fine.
I don't know. The K-Truck is just, I don't get it. Maybe if one of you guys will get one and I could drive it, maybe I'll understand the
Someone
craze.
send me one.
No one's going to send you one.
For free.
No, they're definitely not going to do that for free.
Okay. $1,000.
Hey, there you go.
And if it doesn't run, I'll buy a wrecked crotch rocket and we'll make it really fast.
Boy.
Oh, gosh. We'll figure it out from there. That was pretty much the only story I had, to be honest with you. I just was really confused on why Texas would give a crap about K-Trucks enough to be like, we're not going to let you register these here in the U.S. or in Texas.
I mean, it's probably got something to do, like safety regulations wise. Because I will tell you from driving Papaws up and down the road, I mean, the doors are super thin, the cab is super thin. You've got like the most pindly little steering wheel ever. I doubt there's anything. There is a lap belt. You've got that.
That's all I've got in the Galaxy.
No,
it's
I mean,
a boat.
That's really about that. I mean, it's probably something to do with safety regulations.
Like I said, all I have in the Galaxy is a lap belt.
Yeah, but you've
that
also
thing's 17 and a half feet
got
long.
a Galaxy. That thing is literally 3 times the size of a K-Truck.
I'd say it's 4 times. I bet you could probably put 4 together, and it would be roughly the same size as the Galaxy.
Probably.
Oh man. I found a 427 on Facebook Marketplace that I just try not to compulsively buy and just get rid of the 390 in the Galaxy.
You shouldn't have told me.
You see, all the Galaxy guys that we've talked to at car shows, they're like, oh, we'll never get rid of this.
You've got the good
This has to stay forever.
You know me though. That just drives me to pull the motor out in the first place.
You've got the best thing you could possibly have in that thing, son. You don't need to get rid of it.
But, I mean, to be fair, if Jake wanted to chop that thing up, he could really chop it up. They've got the Charger rear end. There's a 5.3 and a 4L60. Like, he could really make some people.
We have abundance of parts laying around.
He could really make some people mad.
Oh, yeah.
But I think putting a Chevy 427 in that would be enough to really make somebody really mad.
Some old guy would walk up at a car show and be like, oh, Galaxy. Oh, God.
My uncle might haunt me. Like, he might just go. Like, he was a die-hard Ford guy, man. I'm telling you. He's buried that far from my house.
As soon as you turn the ignition,
strolling down the road and haunt me.
You got to prime the fuel pump. You turn the ignition on, all the lights come out.
Coffin, he says, let's go. We've screwed up. There's a disturbance in the forts.
Oh, God.
See what they said there? It's like force, but Ford.
I like it. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I told Dad about it today. I sent him the link, and I was like, it's only 4 hours away. It's in Tennessee. It's brand new. It's blueprint engine. We could do it. He's like, nah.
Good man.
Yeah.
Good man.
He keeps me level-headed.
Deep down inside, he was like,
yeah.
yeah.
Holly EFI, come with Holly EFI and everything, so we could, but fuel injection on it. It would be the ultimate driver at that point. Yeah. I think I should do that.
You should go get it.
mean,
I'm just convincing myself.
You should go get it.
do your thing, man. I'm
I
back it.
probably shouldn't do that right now.
10,000 likes on this podcast. Jay puts a 427 blueprint in.
If you give me 1,000 likes, I might do that because that would be a lot of likes for us.
YouTube challenge.
15 comments.
YouTube challenge.
If
15 comments that are not
watches
us.
this, and I'm just at home watching it myself.
Official YouTube challenge. If this video gets 1,000 likes on it,
1,000 likes.
That-
I have to go get it. That's a requirement.
How many people do you know?
I
don't know 1,000.
You don't know 1,000 people.
give me a stack of those stickers. I'll take them to work and I'll see what I can make
Just
happen.
put them on. Go on and like this one
how many
episode.
How many people work there? Like 600?
Yeah, I could get us part of the way there.
That's a little over halfway.
I'll go to Walmart and get the rest.
Oh boy.
Just standing there like a greeter, be like, "Here, I need you to sign into your YouTube and like this real
then
quick."
you can have this free sticker.
Maybe. I don't know. There's a lot to do. We need to go drag racing first.
Yeah.
We got to go drag racing first. That right there is like the main reason why I wouldn't go
That's
buy
fine.
it.
You got some barns. We'll throw it in there.
Oh God, add it with everything else.
I like how this came from us talking about K-Trucks. This is glorious.
Yeah, we got from K-Trucks to Galaxies and
Yeah.
putting
We were talking about
427s
Texas,
in
then we
them.
start talking about big things.
Yeah.
and
That
then
works.
a Galaxy came to mind. Yeah, it's smoking really bad though, guys. It's not
no.
looking good. It really needs some help.
Well, it's sitting for 20 years. Those rings really dried out.
Yeah. We're gonna try one more thing. We've got some one of Dad's friends told us about this GM AC Delco like top end cleaner. He said that he talked to an old like GM technician and told him, he was like, if you put this in there and like let it set for a couple hours and then change the oil, he goes, you're pretty much whatever you get after that is as good as it's gonna get. So it's like, well, we're gonna try that and see how it does.
Fair enough.
So anyway, yeah,
I
there's a
think
little
it's- I
update
think
on my
it's a
Galaxy. We haven't worked on it on the channel in a while, so there's a little update. We've been messing with the carburetor. That's been a headache as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, what other things you got?
Well,
I sidetracked us a little bit.
Things that Texans hate. Electric vehicles. The checks have hit. The agents of the government are prepared to destroy Elon Musk.
all right.
Elon Musk, if you're listening, though,
Would you like
free
for me to,
Teslas.
Would you like to give some me to give them some context on this?
Before we continue, how much allocation do I have with this?
I'll tell you when you went too far.
All right, cool. All right,
Or I'll
go
tell you
ahead.
right before you go too far.
Go ahead,
All right,
go
cool.
ahead.
So last week we had a whole conversation about the Cybertruck and the apparent corrosion issue, I think is what they called it. And just to give fair where it's due, the engineer at Tesla came out and said that it was a corrosion issue. It wasn't actually the stainless steel of the truck that was rusting. It was a reaction between the corrosion and the stainless steel, which that corrosion is what was rusting. So we had a few comments about it. And basically, at the end of the day, we have been set up by the U.S. government to dethrone Elon Musk from his Cybertruck dynasty.
That is the general consensus.
That is what we've been told, that we are just we're hitmen to take out Elon Musk as far as the on the social media side of things. So
Yeah.
I would definitely say that 3 really average dudes definitely have all the capabilities to dethrone a multi-billionaire.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
I would just like to say to Elon Musk, if you're listening, I love you, and anything you would like to give me, anything at all, I will happily accept.
He sent you a K-Truck. he has access to all the Teslas. He sent you a K-Truck. He's like, here, this guy really likes those.
As long as it's got the T badge on the front, you're good.
He can Tesla swap it. I don't even care.
All right, so because of this comment, go ahead.
All the people that leave angry, hateful comments, we love you too.
Yeah, we really do.
do.
And even, yeah.
We get
the
genuine
group chat
enjoyment out of
alive.
it.
It makes me laugh. I do laugh usually.
Not in like a haha screw you way, but like we are very self-aware.
Oh, yeah.
That we're
just regular
more than
dudes.
likely don't know anything, but we're going to voice opinions, and that's the fun part of the internet.
Yeah, someone said that we were stupid, and I was like, yep.
That's our intro.
Okay, all right, yeah. That was hurtful. Next.
But,
anyway, because we've been sent by the government to dethrone Elon Musk from his Cybertruck empire, Logan, I think, has something to say.
So, yeah, first thing that I would like to do, and I'm going to start with this, is to the one guy that specifically did call out us as being government agents, I would like to formally apologize, okay? Because I looked back at what I said. and I realized that I did you a disservice by not going into enough detail about the things that I do not like about this truck. Okay, so I've done a little bit more looking. I've dived onto some forums about just some nitpicky things here and there. So I'm going to start off with what we talked about, the bulletproofing. Mm-hmm. Right, so I did the research he was supposed to do. I did Jackson's homework for him.
That's good.
So
that was the only way it was going to get done.
It is.
Yeah, I didn't do it either.
It is bulletproof.
It didn't come up on my TikTok, so
At least according to Jerry Rig Everything. That's the guy, right? Mm-hmm. It is bulletproof to 9mm.
Okay.
It is bulletproof to 22. Mm-hmm. The second that he bumped up to a 17 HMR, straight through the panel.
But I mean, 9mm is probably the most common round in the U.S.
Probably. So
to be fair, my credit card will stop a 9mm. We tried it.
Okay.
So that further proves my point.
The titanium one. Yeah.
The Apple one.
Yeah. So I wanted to get that out there. So yes, there is actually some bulletproofing done.
To it.
Good on that.
Gotcha.
Here's where I get to have a little bit of fun.
Okay.
with the way that the thing was created in its own right. So you know how underneath the light bar it has that really big piece of just bent stainless steel on the very front?
Yes.
So according to Tesla engineers, the stainless steel that they used was so hard to actually bend and shape for the panels that they had to invent their own way to do it.
Mm-hmm. I read that.
And that front panel is held on by the welds. It's constantly under tension.
Cool.
So if those welds broke at the very end, just go right at the
like
side.
Pumbaa Man, just like our tusks. I think someone should do that.
My new life goal is to keep the Milwaukee grinder in the car all the time. And if I find one, I'm just going to
weaken the weld just enough to where it eventually flexes and bing.
So going along with those panels,
the cyber tusks. Sorry.
Going along with those panels, people have found some massive safety issues with them.
Cool.
The edges are not rounded off.
Okay, so
I heard about that.
So the frunk.
So Tesla can afford to invent new bending techniques, but they can't afford a grinder.
Yes.
Okay.
So the frunk is, if it's open and you're sitting there talking to somebody, you're going to set your hand on the side of the thing while it's open, not really pay attention. So
it automatically closes.
Watch people doing, reviews on the thing. They were like, "We've heard this is dangerous. I'm going to test this." Dude pulled a carrot out, and apparently, according to some weird medical science, it takes the same amount of tensile. So he just kind of stuck that thing there, but he pressed the button to close the frunk and chopped it clean in half.
Cool.
Did it to a lineup of 6. So it is just chopping your entire hand off if you leave that there. It's the same thing on the doors. It's the same thing on the tailgate. None of the edges are rounded off.
Gotcha.
You know how we talked about the tonneau cover and getting you some extra mileage or some extra range if it's closed? If it's closed, you have 0 rear visibility.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Because the back glass is
like built
underneath the top of the tonneau cover. When it's open, that's when that glass slides up and is visible through. You have a rear view mirror, but if the tonneau cover is up so you can have more range, you can't use it. They did think of that. There's a big center screen. You have this little bitty thing right about here off to the right that acts as a camera.
As your rear view camera.
Yep. And that sounds like a good safeguard, right?
This literally sounds like, have you seen the memes where it's like, where they put the starter inside the bell housing of the transmission? Like, have you seen those pictures? And they're like, this is what happens when engineers design cars. Like, this is like, you took every generic engineer and you were like, and said, here, design a car and make it as complicated as possible. That's literally what they've done here. Okay.
I love that I'm getting to do this. I don't know why.
Because we're paid to by the government.
Paid to by the government. Thank you.
Exactly.
I'm waiting for the
get
check.
It back in our IRS in our tax return.
First off, that's a good safeguard. A lot of people are going to like that. Rear view camera, nice.
Right.
The second that any sort of inclement weather comes up,
you can't see anything.
No, it's completely knocked out.
Right.
It's useless.
So I don't know. I don't know if either of you've seen the RAV4 with the digital rear view mirror.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Where it's the flip up.
It's digital. You push the button, an extra camera in the back. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have a digital rear view mirror.
Yep.
You ever driven with that?
No.
It's horrid.
Oh God, is it?
It's the worst. I could not imagine it being blown up on the.
Oh no, yeah, you don't have a you don't have a gate like a cluster in front of you either. There's nothing there. It's just the big screen. So if you want to look at your rear view mirror, it's either here or there.
Oh, so there's no like cluster at all. Everything is in this heads up or in this display. I mean, not heads up display, but okay.
Now here,
digital mirrors.
I'm gonna outweigh.
Terrible. It's the worst.
I'm gonna outweigh.
Is it digital side view mirrors as well?
Oh yeah, there's no side view mirrors either.
Okay.
When you put your turn signal on, your rear view thing turns into your side mirrors. So you lose.
This sounds
the
like
camera.
I would crash so fast.
What else is
just
there?
Like learning the nuances of this would drive me crazy.
There's also a front view camera. For some reason, like you have snow like covered the front of you can.
Yeah. But
that's probably a software upgrade.
What a world!
Elon Musk, let us know.
I will take a second and make dude happy. I do have some positives that I will talk about.
It's fast.
So, it is fast.
Yeah.
For a second.
According to multiple reviews and multiple people on forums, it does not feel anywhere near as big on the road as it
looks
should be.
humongous.
It weighs like 7,500 pounds.
Oh
it's a massive vehicle, but the way that they've designed the steering, it's a constant constant like fly-by-wire system. It's electronically set up.
Yeah.
They have a dynamic steering range, so when you're in a parking lot, it practically crab walks because it's got the rear wheel steering.
Right.
That's really cool, but it works out fine on the highway. It doesn't do anything wild with that. It's incredibly nimble when driving. Like, it's smooth.
Does it have any sort of off-road capabilities? Like, is it? I mean, I know we talked about the differentials last week or whatever.
It's got solid clearance. If you've got all-terrain tires on it, you can do just what minimal off-roading would be considered to that degree.
Kind of gravel off, like Jeep guys around here.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, drive through their yard.
Yeah. But like there are genuine positives about this, and I will leave with this. So after doing a bunch of research, I personally still don't like it, but
it's horrendous.
I will say that in terms of overall memorability, I think that for this decade, that's probably going to be the most remembered vehicle of like the 2020s.
Yeah, because you drew it when you were 6 years old on a piece of paper. So you're like,
I love this.
I found the sketch the other day.
This is how I drive.
I love that you said that because that's where he got the inspiration from.
Is
the
that
design.
where it came from?
Yeah.
I read that, but I don't know if that was real or not. So interesting. He literally was like, this is what a 6-year-old would draw.
Also, not a negative, but just weird to me. You know how it has the biggest windshield ever put in a production vehicle?
I did not know that.
The biggest windshield ever put in a production vehicle. It has one wiper blade, and it is 4 feet long.
Oh my gosh. $900 at the Tesla store.
Not a negative, not a positive. It's just weird.
That's really weird.
Yeah.
So it's in the center, 4 feet long.
It's here.
Oh, it does this.
And goes down and up.
Weird.
But
I just find this whole situation just so strange. Like, the Cybertruck is a weird thing to me.
I don't want to
I live in a very small world. Yeah. So, like, this is very strange to me.
Like, I don't want to keep sounding like I'm the biggest Tesla hater in the world because I think the Plaid is one of the coolest things they've ever made.
It's sick.
I think the Tesla Roadster that's going to be coming out looks absolutely gorgeous. Like, they make cool cars.
Yeah.
I just think the Cybertruck was a miss on their end. I know there's going to be a lot of people disagree with me.
It's like classic overselling under whatever the word, performing or under delivering.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's
but
to
like
each
it was
their own.
oversold for no reason.
Yeah.
Like no one was like going like, hey, Elon, we really need a bulletproof truck that can do looks like a 6-year-old. No one was doing it. It's just him.
No, that's just his dream come to reality.
He's a weird guy.
And
I'm going to take you down.
We're going to take you down. And like the last thing that I will say, and I will step off of this stool for the remainder of my time, unless somebody else provokes me. You pay that much for a truck. And that's what it is. It's a truck.
Top quality.
You pay that much for a truck. And after looking into a lot of it, after watching a lot of reviews, the interior quality is what everybody expects from Tesla at this point. And that's not a knock. That's what everybody expects is kind of shoddy. Things shake. It's not soundproofed great, so it's super loud. You hear a lot of the actual
Road
like electric
noise.
engine noises
Oh.
too. Like it's wild. When you get up to high speeds, I watched like a drag test of it one time, right? And when it gets up to like 80, 90, you don't just hear the electric engines, you hear like this high pitched like whine, like you know in like video games when a grenade goes off next to you and you get that tinnitus sound. That's kind of what it sounds like.
I would hate
So
that.
like,
That
oh dude,
sounds
yeah.
awful.
But, like,
I mean,
the
not that you're buzzing this
the
thing at 90 miles
interior-
an hour all the time.
The interior creaks and shakes, and the door panels will vibrate when you shut the door. It's just like the small stuff like that. If it was a more well put together, almost like a luxury vehicle at that point, then it would justify a 6-figure price tag. But when
Right.
this thing was initially advertised years ago, starting at like 35 or 40, what he originally said, there's no like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like Ram puts together a good interior, and
Yeah.
their trucks don't cost 6 figures.
Right.
I don't understand
on the
that.
truck.
Well,
It's
depending on
pretty-
the
it's
truck,
pretty
yeah.
close.
It's
Yeah,
close.
especially depending on the
It's close. It's
package.
close. Yeah, depending on what you get. Like a
Yeah.
regular Ram interior is nice, but like it's the small stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like every other car that they've got, cool. Don't like the Cybertruck.
I'm in you.
And now I will step down off of my high horse. Whatever your name was, I didn't catch it in the comments. Sorry. I secede. I've said my word.
I know something that'll provoke Logan.
Oh God.
His favorite car in the entire world,
It's the Ford Mustang.
the Mustang Mach-E.
I hate you.
It's the worst.
We saw one yesterday. I went, look, there's your favorite.
My
He was
wife,
like,
my wife came home this week, and she was like, I was driving down the road, and I got behind one of those new Ford things.
Looked
and I was
like a-
I was
looked like a Beetle
the
with
Mach-E.
wheels.
And she's like, yeah. She's like, and then beside it was the the Tesla SUV?
The Model X,
Is it the X? Okay, whatever it is.
right?
So
X?
I think it's the X.
the E? X?
the
Probably the X,
one
'cause
with
it's got the
one with
fancy
gold
Yeah,
wings.
no,
wings.
that
Yeah.
That's
is
the
it. Yeah,
X.
the X.
Okay, whatever it is. She was like, I had the Mustang, and then we had the whatever the Tesla SUV is beside each other. She goes, they're the same thing. She goes, they look exactly the same. And I was like, that's no good. Yeah. So
Does Emily need to borrow my glasses?
I
Like
don't-
I'm
I
not
don't
trying
know. I
to
haven't
be.
looked at. I have not seen them side by side.
They're- I
Apparently,
mean,
she saw them from the back, and like I said,
They're
but you
both
got to think
kind of
about
bulbous.
this. But you have to think about this from the perspective of someone who is a normal car person.
You're right.
Versus someone who like looks and reads about cars and stuff more like we do comparatively.
Yeah.
In her mind, they are the same thing.
I get it.
So like, someone missed, and the Mach-E came second. So
Ugh.
the Mach-E missed. They should have done
Mach-E's
something different.
A disgusting vehicle.
Yeah, I don't.
Just because you're right. One of my favorite, like my single favorite car of all time is a Mustang. Make fun of me if you want to. Haha.
Okay.
Don't care. Don't care.
I will.
Throw it at me. But the second that they put the Mustang name on that, I hated it. And then
It
it,
just doesn't
came
make
out.
any sense.
And then it came out looking the way it did, and I hated it even more.
Yeah, it really made no sense. Why not just make it a new model?
Yeah.
Like, why put a classic name like a Mustang?
It
Especially
would've-
if you're going to die on the hill of, like, we're going to be the manufacturer who still produces V8 sports cars no matter what. You know, they're going to put V8s in Mustangs forever, they said. And it's like, why would you, like, tarnish the name that you're going to stand on under the V8 sports car?
They did the same thing with the Lightning.
Yeah, I guess so.
mean,
Yeah, the
I guess
Lightning was a kind of a cool truck when it first came out, and then the new one came out. And the electric.
I'm seeing so many of these now, and it's really annoying because I passed one of those Lightning trucks.
I see one or two a day.
Yeah.
That one time that I rode go karts with Joey Logano, he just not name dropping.
He did,
anything, but that
actually,
that is the
yeah.
truth.
Yeah,
though. That one time I rode go karts with Joey Logano, he
Joey
had
Logano
his
didn't have a
Lightning
clue
truck
who
there.
Jake was, right?
Not a clue, and I didn't even speak because I was just like, he's a cool guy. I
got
don't want to bother him. He
I got to
seems-
really look at one in depth at a dealership, and I mean,
one of the Lightnings.
yeah, it looks like an F-150.
Yeah,
I mean,
it did, yeah.
I mean, it's just
Fine.
solid grill. That's really about the only difference. It's just
This podcast is not going to become all about electric cars.
It's
I
not, I
promise.
promise.
We'll get away from this at some point. But just right now, every time you log into anything and read articles about cars right now,
Everything's
it is the
electric,
conversation. It is the whole conversation right now.
The
At
new
some point, it will
Prelude,
go away.
the new Prelude coming out.
It may not go away, but
Like,
at some point, it will go down a little.
like, I don't.
It can't go away all the way because we have to talk about Elon Musk in every podcast. Where
Okay, that's right. Because we got to dethrone him.
Contractually obligated with our agreement with the federal government.
I forgot. The federal government has told us we must. Okay, all right.
Like, yeah,
so it's
I don't
not going to go
wanna-
away completely, probably.
Yeah, like I don't want to spend every episode talking about electric vehicles, but you're right. Every time that you look at anything new in the car world, it's talking about this new EV that's coming out from this company and this, and it's going to be different in this way, and it's going to have this range, and like I don't get it. It makes a lot more sense when you have companies like Fisker that are starting to come back and making brand new things, and they're actually looking solid.
Apparently, Scout is coming back. Speaking of brand new things, they're coming back with an electric something or other.
Yep.
And that's cool. I love the Scout
There's a look
brand.
on Jackson's face.
What?
Nope. Speak.
You're surprised that
Speak.
Scout is coming back, or
I don't think that'll be real hot kicks there.
No, I mean, I'm not expecting it to be a big seller, but I just like this. I love Scouts. Like they're cool little cars. Like the old ones, the original, like the Scout, like the Bronco knockoffs.
Yeah.
Those are cool.
Those are clean. Yeah, I like those.
I like them. You don't like them?
I think it'll be atrocious whatever they release.
I mean, of course it's going to be now. I'm talking about the brand in general. I like the original brand of Scout.
Yeah.
It's fine.
You look disgusted.
It's fine.
You look disgusted.
I didn't realize you had such strong feelings about Scout.
It's fine.
No, I promise anybody listening that we will not consistently
It's fine. You can
talk.
send me one for free. I'll drive it.
I promise anybody listening that we will not consistently talk about electric vehicles.
No, I
it's
promise.
just super.
I won't allow that to happen.
It's just super hard to avoid it.
Even
nowadays.
if I have to cut it out, we won't talk about it. Let's go into a topic that I really enjoyed. And this weekend, NASCAR was on road course racing, and our buddy Shane Van Gisbergen, he put on a heck of a show Saturday. He kind of got behind on Sunday. He did not perform so great. They had some issues. I think he lost first gear at some point during the race. But let's ignore that and let's talk about Saturday, because he put on one heck of a show in the Xfinity cars. Him, AJ Allmendinger, Kyle Larson, and then at the very end it was Austin Hill there with him. And I'll tell you, that guy knows how to drive.
Yeah.
I know you're going to be shocked by that, but I mean, he's of a wheel man.
Oh yeah.
Like, and he is just like adapted to the Xfinity car faster than maybe even the Cup car. Well, maybe not faster because he won his first Cup race. Yeah. So he is very quickly adapted to the Xfinity car, even though it is drastically different than the Cup car. And like, he was putting on a show. They were beating and banging multiple laps. And I'll tell you, the guy's already, like, we were talking about the crazy Australians. Mm-hmm. This guy has it under the skin. Like, he's very composed when he does his interviews. He's very straightforward. But I'll tell you, the guy is an Australian through and through, because they get to the very end and they get to the last restart and Austin Hill just runs through him and just like sends him way out onto the first corner. And then so they race for another lap or so. And so Shane gets back to him and he just so hard that it caved the front end of the car in. He hit him so hard in the back to move him on like the third to last corner or so. And he was like, they asked him about it at the end. He goes, he sent me in turn one. I thought feel like it was fair game. I was standing up for myself, and I was like, "Attaboy!" Nice. Like, do not let these guys like run you over.
That's
literally and figuratively. Like, don't let them run you over. So he unofficially finished second, but then he cut the track on the last lap a little, and so he finished 27th or 28th, I think. He was scored. But that's a little disappointing. But that's my Shane Van Gisbergen spiel for this week.
SVG was my pick. He was my pick to win it.
He didn't on Sunday. Yeah, he didn't. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. This guy just pulls another one out of his butt on his picks. Just like he goes, "Oh, I forgot we were... Oh, Byron. Oh, wait, I forgot we weren't racing ovals. I should have made a different pick."
Yeah,
boom, Byron wins.
The thing that upsets me is that Jackson individually messaged me after he said Byron. He said, "I genuinely was not going to pick him, but I really don't want to unsend that now, so it's set in stone."
I was typing, and I had it typed. I was like, I should look at stats. And then, like, as I went to like close the chat window, I hit send. I went, "Oh, well, we're here."
Well, you picked right, man. He put on a clinic. He was really fast again. These I don't know. I don't want to get too deep into this topic because I feel like it's griping where I don't need to. But only NASCAR could build a basically road course car and make possibly the most boring road course races ever. Like, it was so bad Sunday. I was bored to tears, literally, until there wasn't even a late restart. It was just.
Oh yeah, punch the mic.
Yeah, that's right. I'm new here. The whole experience with this car, they'll never go back. Like, I realize they can never go back to truck arm suspension and H pattern gearboxes. They've already made the changes where we are now. But man, I wish we could go back. I'm so tired of this car and how it performs pretty much everywhere except for mile and a half tracks. That's been some pretty good racing, but they just get spread out, and it just causes some of the most boring parade laps ever. And Austin is massive. It's like 3.4 mile lap, and they just get so spread out, and I don't like it. Don't like it at all. I miss old
That's
Cup
why
cars.
I watched a little bit, and then I said no.
No, you didn't miss much. I'll tell you.
I didn't watch none.
Well, you didn't miss a whole lot. I'll be honest with you, but yeah, between the cars being boring and the drivers being boring, it's just it's not my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes some weeks I'm like Atlanta. We talked about that last week. You're like, yeah, and like they're not all gonna be like that. That's okay. Like that's all right. It's no big deal. But just like, man, when they just get out there turning 68 laps, not a single natural caution. The only 2 cautions were the stage brakes, Jackson's favorite thing. And man, oh man, if we hadn't had the stage brakes, it would have went green checkers. It would have been like there would have been nothing going on. So yeah. Anyway, so I just wanted to give my spiel on NASCAR here. I don't want to gripe too much. Let's talk about Formula One real quick.
They raced upside down.
They did race upside down, down
In
under,
the great
if you
land
will.
of where, Jackson?
Australia.
Our favorite place, Australia.
I had to turn my TV upside down to watch the race.
We do have quite a bit to talk
There
about.
is quite a
F1
bit
this
in
time.
Formula One. So where NASCAR lacked in excitement, Formula One ditches their main dude, and suddenly there's some excitement.
Yeah.
Bits of excitement. I would say in general, race was like a B.
There's the curse of Max, is what I've been referring to it as. Because every time he gets to that 10th race,
Yeah.
he can't
He just
do it.
cannot break his own record.
He
Like, he cannot continue that record.
He'll get to 9, and they'll be like, oh, he's done it again. He's the only driver to reach 9 consecutive races twice, back to back. And then it's like, this will be his 10th race. He'll be the first one to get 10 consecutive first place finishes. And it's like, he's like,
break lockup.
He's like on 1, he's like, car feels weird. And on 2, he's like, something's
Still
not
feels
right.
weird.
He got on 3, and he was like, fire, 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 fire.
Lots of smoke. Fire.
Yeah. So yeah, and then as I assume on pit lane, me and Dad were watching it, and I think the tire blew out. Is that what the explosion was as he was coming into pit lane? Did you guys see that?
Yeah, I saw the.
It was like a boom.
Yeah.
And like the car sets down in the back, so I assume it just melted the tire down and it blew out, I guess.
Probably couldn't really get a good look.
So anyway, so Max goes into the race, goes out in lap 3,
Real bummer.
and then we kind of just go into turning laps again. Was it a whole lot? There were some strategies playing out and stuff like that.
Lewis lost power.
Yeah.
I don't remember what lap exactly.
just kinda- he was
it
just
Did
like,
you know that
huh,
this is the
car's not
first
working.
time in history that Lewis and Max both didn't DNF because of mechanical failure in the same race?
Nope,
Weird
did not know that.
statistic. Yeah, weird
And the
statistic.
third time that I can immediately recall that Russell has finished a race with the car not on 4 wheels.
Yeah, and that's the other thing that's weird. So basically, this is another statistic that's happened 3 times now. Max has went out for a mechanical issue. Carlos has won,
Yeah.
and Russell has had a last lap crash.
And somebody
All
from
3
Mercedes
times.
always ends up.
All 3 times that Carlos has won, that has what has been what has happened. Max has
Next time
broken,
Carlos is in first, Russell just needs to like.
So just
Shut it
because
down.
I think, like I said, in general, the race itself, I would give it like a B. Like it was just kind of boring, but there was parts of it that were interesting to me. A couple things I want to bring up. The last lap crash with George. You guys saw it.
Yep.
Okay. Do you know what happened afterwards? Did you hear about what happened afterwards, or did you miss this?
Like the immediate aftermath, or
With Fernando. So Fernando Alonso
did
is
not know
given
this.
a 30-second time penalty for Russell's crash. If you look at his telemetry, he braked 300 meters earlier into the corner than he had been. He accelerated and then he hit the brakes again. And the FIA deemed this as a deliberate brake check, basically, which caused Russell to get closer to him, lose the arrow, and then drive into the wall. Or, as I would like to say, caused Russell to get closer to him, he ran out of talent, and then he ran into the wall. Can you believe? Like, I find this frustrated me, and I texted Seth about it, and me and him haven't got to have a whole conversation about it yet. But like, I find that very annoying because like I know there's no brake lights in a Formula One car, and I know there's a certain etiquette in racing where you don't like brake check somebody. Fernando claims that he had some like weird issues with his throttle. And I realize there's data backing him up on the brake and then the throttle and then brake again. I have a hard time blaming Fernando for Russell's crash. Yeah. If you see that he's slowing down, even if he brakes early, you, as the driver behind, have to be aware of that and either move over or hit the brakes and slow down.
Yeah, and being an F1 driver, you've definitely got enough awareness to know what's going on.
You would think so, unless, and like I said, but you see this with Russell all the time, though. The dude gets like hyper-focused. Like at Singapore, he was under pressure. He was very focused on what was going on, and then he screws up, and just misses the track, and runs into the wall. So
it's like he tunnel visions almost.
It's like he gets so focused on just like one little thing that he'll just literally drives off the track.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think this whole thing is weird, and why. And like they didn't really it felt like they were really quiet about this as well, because it demoted Fernando, I think, to 8th place. And he was running, 4th or 5th. Something like that. So, anyway, so it's 30-second time penalty. It demotes him that many points. And that's a lot of points, from 5th, wherever he was, down to 8th. I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like this is one of those things where it's deserved. Like, I don't, even if it's deserved, I just don't feel like this is something the FIA, I feel like you're opening a can of worms here. If you start looking at stuff like this, which I guess it's their job. I don't know. Anyway, I'll have more information.
We've had our complaints with the FIA already.
I just find that very strange. It's very frustrating, especially coming from the NASCAR side of things where we don't there's no time penalties really. This weekend there's track limits in one section of the track at COTA. So maybe it's just a mindset thing. Maybe I'm just used to a different way of how they rule things.
We talk about poor old Logan Sargent. I know he's not. Man. I know he's not the most stellar driver on the field or on the track. Sorry, but that was the most disrespectful thing.
It's brutal, man.
Ever.
So if you guys don't know this, what happened this weekend with them being in Australia, they didn't bring a lot of backup parts because it costs so much to get everything from the UK, where most of the teams are based out of Australia. So Williams brings their 2 cars and no backups, basically, no backup chassis. And so during one of the free practices, Albon destroys his chassis so badly that they can't repair it, and it needs to basically just be scrapped, or it needs at the headquarters repair. And they basically call up Logan and say, "Hey Logan, we know that you didn't crash, but we're going to take your car away from you and give it to Albon because we believe he is our most likely person to score points." Mm-hmm. Do you guys think this should be allowed?
No.
I think if you show up to the race, if you show up to the racetrack with 2 cars, and that car has whatever the number is on the car, and that number is assigned to that driver, they should have to stay in the car. There should be no ables to drive unless it's a medical thing.
Yeah.
Like when Carlos went out and Ollie came in to fill in for him, that's completely different. But something like that, if Albon crashes the car, he should be out. But Logan stays in the car. There's no driver swaps as far as that goes, in my mind. You agree, surely? Okay.
Yeah.
Stoic as always, Jackson.
Yeah. Thanks
I'm just sitting over here thinking at least the car's not neon green.
Oh God, yeah, we talked about this.
Those state cars are really bad, and they are really bad. Alfa Romeo was bad, but now this new team is worse.
It's so bad.
They're really bad. The paint scheme is bad, but I'm talking about the team. Yes, I'm talking about their performance is really bad. The wheel nuts keep cross-threading, basically.
So they're having to start them by hand to make sure that a cross-thread, and then 15, they run
20-second pit stops. I don't know. So that was, I don't know. I just...
They have to keep spare lug nuts in there because they're and then the next time they're like...
It's a really good wheel gun noise you got there. It's spot on. I'm not even making fun. That was a spot on wheel gun noise.
F1 got very, very weird this weekend.
It was a really strange weekend. Oh, also, apparently Helmut Marko has issued an ultimatum to Daniel Ricciardo that basically if he doesn't perform in the next 3 races, they're going to put Liam Lawson into the car and kick him out. because
fair.
Liam did
Didn't know
so
that.
good. Yeah, he has really been poo-poo garbage, as you said
He's
earlier.
poo-poo garbage.
Yeah, he is. I don't know what happened.
I was watching
watched
Sunday. I
Drive to
went,
Survive.
Daniel.
I watched Drive to Survive, and apparently how he got that seat back, at least according to the show, was that he had like a lap at Silverstone that would have put him next to Max on the grid in a Red Bull car, and they were like, okay, he's back, he's good, we're gonna put him back in the RB Visa Cash App blah 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 team, and now he's poo-poo garbage again.
Also, the team name, poo-poo garbage.
This is all around. So we can potentially see the Yuki Liam Lawson team up here in the next I think they said Japan if he doesn't perform. They're going to Japan.
They need to change that team logo to just the poop emoji at this point.
They did an interview. It might have been Lawson. He was like, in Formula 2, you outdrive the car at some point. In Formula 1, the car always outdrives you.
Yeah, maybe.
So maybe it's time to find out.
Maybe. So, I don't know. So
He can't be
Formula
worse than
One
Daniel
is gonna
Ricciardo.
Be interesting.
If the performance isn't
Liam,
there,
he
then it's
filled in
time.
for Daniel when he broke his hand last year and did
Yeah.
really great.
Yeah.
Scored points and he outperformed Yuki even.
Getting the racing bulls.
I think it's the racing
Bulls.
Racing
Bulls.
Bulls.
Visa Cash App Racing Bulls. The Visa Cash App Racing Bulls. I think.
Considering they
I'm
threw out,
gonna-
they threw out,
And they just call
they
it.
threw out
They
the
just
name.
call it RB.
They threw out the name El Toro Loco. They were like, no, can't do that. That's too cool.
Are you looking it up?
Yeah, I'm seeing if this is. Yep, it is literally the Visa Cash App Racing Bowl.
I told you.
Wow,
yeah,
that's bad.
It's really bad. Visa Cash App Racing Bulls.
When you get sponsors, you get sponsors. You get
Visa Cash App.
Tell us how that
RB
feels one day.
Give us free stuff.
Suddenly your turn
You
to
are
get to the
lit-
Visa Cash App Shift Points podcast.
You are literally.
I don't even have a Cash App, but for Cash App, if you will sponsor us, I will download a Cash App.
You are a massive brand worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
You are based off of Red Bull, and you come up with, and the team name you come up with is Visa Cash App
Racing
RB.
Bulls. Racing Bulls, and then we call it RB. It's really bad. And they can't even call it like Red Bull Junior or anything. RBs, the RB, Team RB. Anyway, that's terrible.
Hurts my brain.
On that disappointing note, we will end this episode.
For the three of you that are still here, we
That's
appreciate
right.
you.
That's all right. Diana, I think
Diana,
listens.
Toby, Eugene.
I think Buddy probably listens still.
Maybe.
Hi, Dad.
Okay, 4.
Yeah,
Does Chip watch it?
our biggest
Probably, yeah.
fans.
5. Right here we
Yeah,
go.
there you go.
Shout
Well,
out
everyone
to
up
you.
here, we appreciate you very much. Thank you guys very much. If you're new here and you enjoyed this rambling whatever podcast you want to
Gibbering.
call it,
I'm
Gibbering
about this. And listen,
podcast.
I know a lot of people aren't. I'm about this new format. We get to really be ourselves.
I like this too. It's flexible. I
Yeah.
like it. Anyway, but definitely hit that subscribe button. We appreciate you guys very much for joining us and being here with us. And if there's any topics that you guys run across in your scrollings through TikTok, send it to us. Let us know, because I would love that. If we had some people that would send us some articles that they see and they're like, oh, we want these three fools' opinions on these, please do that. Send them in our DM them to our Instagram at Shift Points or into our Messenger at Facebook. Let me know.
Instagram, you got Instagram, Facebook. Leave them in the comments of the
Put them
video.
in the comments
Yeah.
in the video.
We like the comments on the video
And don't
better.
forget, you can, if you want to take us with you somewhere other than just the YouTube app, you can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, anywhere that there's podcasts, you can listen to us basically. So definitely do that. And we appreciate you guys very much. And we'll be back next week.
You can also send this to all of your friends.
Yeah.
Do that. Definitely do that. See you
Bye.
guys.